Thank you, Martha. No, I'm good. Good afternoon from Gibraltar and London. So the tournament's in Gibraltar. I'm in London. This is Chris Bray commentating on the undefeated final between Tobias Hellwag of Germany and Ricardo of the Lebanon. 15-point match, 2 points per, um, 2 minutes per point and 12 seconds per move, normal time limit. You can see Harder, the tournament director, just having a quick chat to the two players, but we'll be underway any minute. So, the one thing I can't see is a doubling queue. So, no doubt they're going to put it on shortly. Still talking to Harder, probably the world's leading tournament director. Each getting a dice out. Obviously, all the matches here are played with precision dice. There's the traditional handshake to get the thing underway. They're using a baffle box, which you can see on the left-hand side of the screen. And shortly, they'll put the two dice through it. Tobias is wearing headphones, and Ricardo is wearing a rather naffy hat. So here we go, undefeated final. Okay, so 4-1 for red, I think. Let's see. Ricardo is shaking the dice, and Tobias is using a baffle box, as sometimes happens. Player's preference is fine. So 5-3, some fairly standard moves so far, making the 3-point. White's game plan already defined. He's going to run the rear checker, 6-3. So, can Tobias find an early 3? No, he can't. So the question is, what do you do? Yeah, you can have maximum coverage and make the 4-point. It's difficult for White because his moves are going to be largely forced here. So now you could play 15-7, which is safe. The other alternative was to recognize the fact that it's going to be difficult to get all the checkers home from a position where you've only got 3 stacks and make the bar point. So I suspect that making the bar point, despite the number of shots, was probably right, because this is a position that is now difficult to develop. Let's have a look, see if it can roll something. Oh, double 6. So he knows far more than I do, obviously. So 2 of them are very clear. You probably need a landing point in the board for some of your other checkers. You've got the choice of pointing on the ace point to force the red checker forward now that you've got a substantial lead in the race, or you play more positionally and make the 2-point, giving you a landing point. I wouldn't be, obviously if you point on the ace point, you give up the bar point. So as ever in backgammon, there's risk and reward. This play, if you play 4 to the bar, then big numbers and little numbers next time won't work well. So this is going to be standard fair. Now let's see if it can produce small numbers. That's fine, but a big number and a little number. Oh, double 5. So now you can do this. You can also look at clearing the midpoint, but he's going to have a, if red anchors, which he has done. So now we need a count. Obviously White's going to be a long way ahead. He's not thinking of doubling, so I think you should think about doubling here. So maybe he's stopped. And here's the missing doubling cue now on the window. This looks like fairly standard fare. I think this is a take because of the gap on the 5 point. And white still has to clear the midpoint, and red has a perfect home board ready to trap any checker that is hit. So, as any good player does, he's taking his time to think about it. And this is double and take, undoubtedly. So good double. Yeah, he's going to take. Tobias has played before, so that's a good take. 4-2, and already an awkward number for white. And he's going to be forced to play 7-1. So if you obey Mishi's rules for moving your checkers once you have disengaged the rear checkers, then you play safe until you can't play safe. So double 5. So this looks like the right play. He's cleared the 8 point, so he's got good chances of actually clearing the 8 point. But when he's cleared the 8 point, he still has to clear the bar point, and when he's cleared the bar point, he still has to clear the 6 point, which is why this position was a take, because red has lots of game-winning chances. Double 2. Yeah, and you've got to make the 5 point here, I think, because I can't see how you're going to play it otherwise. 1, 2, 3. So you're not going to play 8-6-2 and 3-1-2. So this bit is forced, and then you decide 3-1 is probably the right play here, keeping that spare on the 5 point. 6-5. You could make the 2 point. Or you can do this. Either play is okay. Red's probably not going to lose a gammon if he does lose. Now, can he clear the 8 point? No, he can't. That's why you kept that spare checker on the 5 point in the last roll. So now he's stripped everywhere. This is going to, so you either come in 2 from the 8 point. The shot is imminent, so the question is, do you slot the 2 point and play 7-4, which will give you lots of cover numbers the next time? I don't think, I would not do this, because now you've got some pick and passes. So an interesting play. You're behind in the race, and now wham, double 2. So you can play 3-1 twice. You can obviously point. You win way more gammons when you do this. So the danger is 6-4 next time. That's the only bad roll. So again, every move in backgammon has risk, and every move has reward. And it's a question of balancing those two factors, and being able to balance them will tell you how good you are at backgammon. I think this is the right play because red has got a lot of outfield checkers. Now don't roll 6-4 to justify your last double 2 play. 6-5 is great, clears the 6 point. Now 5-3 and 6-3 are white's only bad numbers next time. Stays out. If he stays out one more roll, he's going to be in gammon danger. 5-2 clears another point, gets another checker off. 6-3. So now it's a race to save the gammon. 9 crossovers for white, and after this roll, 11 crossovers. Sorry, 9 for red, white, 11 for white. So slight favourite to save the gammon for red, but one double from white will kill him. 3-1. White has also got an odd number of checkers, so he can afford to roll 1 and 2. It won't change the number of rolls that he needs to bear off. Whoa, 1, 2, 3. And now he has 6 crossovers. So finally, a good number for Tobias. That's the end of that game. And Ricardo will lead 2-0. I'm not quite sure why he's rolling, but okay. Yeah. The clock is stopped. The score goes to 2-0. On we go. I was very surprised by that 5-3 play from Tobias. I don't think that was right. If I can, I'll put it into XG Mobile. I have an iPad with me, and occasionally I'm quick enough to put a position in. If anyone's in the chat, they're welcome to comment. I can't read the chat as well as commentate, unfortunately, because the broadcast is 2 minutes behind my commentary. So, by all means, put the solution in the chat for others to see if you're able to do that. So on to game two, and it's another lovers leak. 2-1. Oh, sorry, I missed the first roll from white. 3-1. So 3-1. This one, so white again has an edge because he's escaped one of his rear checkers, but it's very close. So now the 5 is very clear. Not going to slot, so you creep up. The alternative is 23-22 there. So rather than trying to make the 4-point anchor, you try to make 3-point anchor. 5-2, 5. Now do come up. There are 9 checkers in the attack zone. If you play 13-11, you develop the stack on the midpoint that you give your opponent 7s. Not sure. So again, that move paid off. 6-1 is probably going to make the bar. Red gets another shot at the checker on the 4-point. And 5-2 was probably correct. 3-6, and he's in and out. Some duplication of 4s. And here comes the cube. Interesting. So, if it doesn't roll a 4, so if your opponent's only got a 2-point board, most of these early doubles are nearly always takes. That is a very good roll. So now the question is, what do you do with this? You play 1, you make the bar, and then you think about the 4th one. You're probably not going to slot here because basically you don't want a second checker setback, and white has got a perfect 5-point prime. Now, can white roll a 6 to escape? Double 3? No, is the answer to that question. So 1-2. Probably another one down and in. That leaves no shots. 3. This creates the opportunity to roll 4-1 to make the 9-point. 4-2. There's an alternative play here. That was very quick. He could have covered and hit. So they're playing very quickly. For an undefeated semi-final, this is rapid play. So I'm still thinking about a couple of the moves, and I'm a reasonably strong player, and they've already moved. So, yeah. You've got 30 minutes, use them. Backgammon is a very complex and a very difficult game. Very few players in the world can play really effective speed gammon. 2, and it's going to come in with the 4 because there's nothing better. You're not going to hit 7-3, it's too loose. So white will hit red away from the edge of the prime, probably. He certainly will with double 6. He may be playing quickly, but he's rolling well. Just bring the other one round. No heroics. And again, red in severe gammon danger. Already needs 13 crossovers to save the gammon. Yeah. I think you just bring the 2 checkers from the 10-point in. There is a risk of double 6, but that's the only bad number. I think if you play it any other way, there's still going to be at least one bad number. Now, the longer he stays out, the more danger he is in. Six is six. Oh, illegal play. I don't know whether it's going to be spotted by either of the players. So, is the referee? No, that was an illegal play. He played 9-2 with his six. 5-1. Actually, that's influenced the outcome of this game because he would not have been able to close red out were it not for his illegal play. So if he wins the gammon, he's rolled a dreaded 6-5. So now, hello, he's going to take the six off. Oh, yeah. I'm a bit of trouble moving the checkers here. Okay. So now six for red makes it a very interesting game. There is the six. Okay, now let's think. You're going to play 13-10. I mean, having the 10 point when your opponent, when the 4 point is open, is a very strong structure. 4 and 2. So red's going to hit with everything. The only number that doesn't hit is the 5. With things like 5-1, he's going to hit anyway, or even 5-2. 5-4 might be questionable, but the only way that red can win this is to attack and close out the white checker. I think he's thinking about redoubling. He's only got one checker off. And red's board structure is weak because he's got the 2 point too early. So I'd be surprised if this was a redouble. It's a very easy take if it is a redouble. Is there another checker to pick up? No, there isn't. One checker off. So decides not to redouble. The dreaded 6-5 is going to have to hit. I think. So you've got to hit here. Despite the risk, you just cannot afford to play 13-8. I think this is wrong. Basically here, white has only to roll one good number, 5, to win the game. If you hit, he has to roll a 4 to hit, or a 3-6. Now, I think Tobias has played a slightly weak play there. Let's see what happens. Well, he would have been hit. Now he's going to be closer to a redouble, and here it comes. Ricardo has dropped, and now we're at 2-all. So, was that a redouble? Was it a take? You dropped incredibly quickly there. And again, I'll go back to my point. You need to take time. So even if white had pointed on, if red had pointed on white's checker, white would still have an escape hatch while rolling a 3. And it was about 40 pips ahead. So I'm not even convinced it was a double, never mind a pass. So again, they're playing a rapid gammon here. And I think making mistakes because of it. Double 4 looks like a great number. So you can make the 9 point, you can make the 4 point, the 2 point. You can run away, but that's probably wrong. But you can come out to the bar. this looks a strong play because White's going to have difficulty playing a lot of his rolls on the other side of the board, and it sets up a blitz attack for subsequent rolls. So he's still thinking about it. At least this time he is thinking about it. Okay, which is good. Or still thinking about it. I think his first play was correct. So yes, you can play 22-18 and 13-9. It doesn't put as much pressure on White as actually making the two inner board points. Because now White has to play very carefully because one hit will spell the end of the game. So that's a good play by Tobias. White will run away if he can. Oh, well, he's going to have to expose another block. So it looks like 13-10. You don't, if he came up 24-22, he'd have to expose 3 blocks. And that was another, again, I don't mind people dropping doubles, but I do mind people dropping doubles at an incredible speed. That one, I think, was correct because there was a blitz attack and White had no board. But I would follow Moshi's rule. Moshi's rule states you should take 12 seconds to think about any cue, irrespective of how trivial you think it is. So, and that's paid me good dividends over the last 5 years since I started using it. Ricardo seems to be very good at rolling 6-5. Nice 6-1 to make the bar. And again, now White has a game plan, and here he goes again. He's off 3-6 running. What about 4-5? Probably the only sensible play with that 3-5. 3. So again, he's going to play with one checker. Doesn't want to expose another checker. 5-3. Probably going to point. Whenever you point in a situation like this, White will have some awkward entering numbers. So even something like 1-5 is a bit awkward because it exposes either another blot or makes you stack on the 8 point. So, and this gives you 4 builders for the 5 point and the 4 point. Obviously, there are a lot of return hits, but again, I come back to risk and reward. 2-6, there you go. It's a hit. It keeps Ricardo in the game. But because of this, there are a lot of return hits the other way. So 3-5, 2, 3, 7 blocks for red. Why not? Excellent. This is how backgammon should be played. Bit of fun. 1-3. That is a really awkward. I think he's going to have to hit with the 3. It's what's called a tempo play, so that red can't use his whole roll to attack. 4-6. Okay. This seems sensible. So red now has an anchor. 5-1. 5-1. Okay. Make the point and hit. Yeah, this is pretty much a forced play. Red could do with another anchor or maybe rolling a 5-4. Now the 6 is really quite interesting. He's not going to come off the rear anchor. I think slotting is right. 7-1 is just a little bit too big. This red still has good structure, even if White hits, is in the game forever. 4-4. I might have to take that remark back. 1-2. Now what? So you can play 16-12, but then where's the last one? The alternative is to play 13-9 twice with some structure. Not that many hitting numbers. And I think that will be the right play. So you could play just to the 8 point and have only one block. But I like this. It blocks some of red's numbers. It makes it more difficult for red to escape, and it makes it easier for white to come home. 3 and something. 5, 3, okay. Now again, you stop, you think. So white obviously has the advantage. Double 1, that could be a market loser. So it's going to make the 5 point and probably play 13 to 12 twice. And then, irrespective of what red rolls, Ricardo's probably, or Tobias rolls, is probably going to have a nice cue here. Way ahead in the race. The 4-7 game is not a good game. So you should do a quick count. And here comes the cue. Now let's see if we have another 5-second decision or whether you're actually going to play it sensibly and think about it. Because it looks like a good defensive position, but really it's not that strong. It's a good cue, no doubt about that. And he's taken it. It's just about a take, I think. Yeah. Managed to put that one quickly into XG, and it's a borderline take, which probably means on a rollout it'll end up being a pass, because that's what happens with XG when it does a 1-ply evaluation. It comes up with quite often favouring the defending side, but when you do a rollout, it doesn't. XG, by the way, for those who don't know, it stands for Extreme Gavin, the de facto standard for background software in the world. So 5-3. So you can play 18 to 10, or you slot 2 points. You can do this. That could make it awkward, but I'm probably in favour of slotting 2 points with 8, 5, 7 to 2 here. You should be able to escape a checker off the bar point next time, and you need a board as quickly as possible. So the danger in this play is it gets hit, and because of the huge difference in the race, you end up losing a gammon when you stay on the board on the bar a few times. Now that block really exerts virtually no pressure. So 4 is 4, and then 3 will come in. Oh, sorry, 4, yeah, this is obviously correct, because the point he wants to clear is the 12 point, and we're looking for combinations of 3s, 4s, and 6s next time. And again, you can slot 2 points here. Red might run out of timing before white here, despite the discrepancy in the race. 3-1, that's easy. 2 off the 9 point. You're not going to play 6 to 2. Well, you can do this, but I close call that one. You need a computer to sort that one out, because you can sort of pre-clear the 9 points there by moving 2 checkers off it. But anyway, we'll see. 6-3 is perfect. Clears the point. Double 6. Right, one of them's going. Oh, that was cocked. Oops, 5 and 1. Yeah. So this is an easy position to play. Red builds a board, white does pretty much nothing, except moves it, shuffle checkers. Here you probably play 3 to or 1 to avoid. No, double 6 does leave a shot. So you can play 8 to 6, but I would play 3 to 1. I like this play. Even on the 2 highest points. And the only disadvantage of that play is allowing white to do what's just done, or red to, because now white will never hit the checker on the bar point. This is going to be 2 in to the 3 point, or you could make, I agree, you can make the point. That's interesting, because now we can't clear the 8 point with some numbers, which you would have liked to do. So Sometimes it's right to have a spare outside, and sometimes it isn't. I'm afraid that was just too quick for me to know the answer. So had he cleared the 8 point, he could now play 2 in. Because he didn't, he's going to have to play this 5 to 2. So now he's stripped on all the points. 6 is 6, 1 is 1, and 1 is not. Right, so now what's bad? 5-4? 5-4 is bad. Double 4 is okay. Oh, sorry, it is 5-4. I've found the magic number. I do apologize. So there is no safe play. So you probably clear, you play 9 to 5 and 6 to 1 and curse the dice gods. You're not going to play 6 to 2, 6 to 1 because then you've got the problem. So you can do this, but now you've got to play 8 to 3, and then it's more difficult to clear the remaining checkers outside. There's not really going to be an exchange of hits because Red's got a perfect board. So you want the play that allows you, if the blot is missed, the easiest route home. So he's going to have to think about it for a while. That cannot be right. So now, not only, yeah, Tobias is pointing out the illegal play. If you come off the 6 point here, not only do you have to save the blot on the 6 point, you also have to clear the 2 outside points. So you minimize shots, but your long-term jeopardy is dramatically increased. Not sure what the other number is with the 6 there. Okay. So I'm sorry, I just can't see the second dice there. Anyway, let's see what happens. Can he cover and come in? This is the problem with his last play. So if he'd made the correct play, he would have been all right. But here you get repeating shots. And again, even if Tobias misses the 2 shot, he's still going to have trouble clearing the 8 point. Oops. Okay. My screen has just briefly gone small, so it's about to come back, hopefully. Yeah, here we go. 5-4. I think, how much of this has he played? Yeah, so he's kept, it's always a good idea to keep the board. Now, big numbers with a 4 in aren't going to be good. That one's all right. 3 and 4, but look at how White has created extended jeopardy for his position by misplaying that 5-4 early. He's still not home and dry. And here's another shot. So Tobias has missed 2 single shots so far. This could be last chance saloon in this particular game. And he's got the shot. So the poor play by White in that area is basically going to cost him the game. 6-1. So 1, 2, double 6 will still leave a shot. Tobias will then make a decision as to whether to play on or not. So double 5 is the only bad number. You might as well recube this. You've only got about 3 or 4% gammons anyway, and you've got a couple of bad numbers or bad sequences. So take the point, go to 5-2. All right, so it's rare in backgammon that mistakes are immediately punished. That one took 3 shots to get punished, but in the end, Ricardo paid the price. 3-1. Okay, so 5-2 is a nice lead. So, and again, facing a 3-1, this is the correct 3-2. You don't come to the 21 point, you come to the 22 point. The reason being that if white points on you, he makes a point much, not the point he really wants to make, which is the 4 point. I'm not sure about that 4-1 either. So on we go. 2 and 4, return hit. That one's easy. 2 and 5. Yeah, 6, 8, 9 checkers in the attack zone. The alternative, you don't like stripping the midpoint. And here I like this. This is a deflection play because if white points on red on the bar point, you can't also make a point in board. Here you're stripping the midpoint, allowing white full reign to select a move with whatever he rolls. And 5-4 in this variation. Oh, 3-6, good return. Sorry, I'm still commentating on 2 moves ago. I need to catch up. So let's go. White goes 3-2. So 3 probably hide the. Oh, hello. Going to hit now. I think you just pick up the block because you've got lots of chances to make an advanced anchor next time you actually have no board. This makes the 10 point, which is fine, good structure. Red ahead in the race. White ahead slightly in position maybe, just because he's got the 5 point. Now he can make the defensive red 4 point. So an edge to white in this position. This looks now, you can make the 5 point, but at the cost of giving up the 10 point, but it still looks right. Red has got no structure at the moment, and doing this equalizes the home boards. If white hits for the 6, then he's got to give up the anchor that he's made. There are only 8 checkers in the attack zone for white. So this looks entirely logical. See how Ricardo responds. 6-1, well, he's going to hit. You can hit twice in board, but here I think you have to hit because red's midpoint is stripped. So if he hits back, he's got to give up his midpoint, except, of course, if he rolls double 2. Well, he's still giving up midpoint, but he's putting 2 checkers on the bar. A great roll for Tobias. See, white could do with an anchor. Not an anchor, but at least he's got one in. 3 checkers back each, slightly better structure for red. He's got what's known as the rack, the 4, 5, and 6 points. This is an interesting cue. So, and again, these guys are very quick to make a decision. Probably correct, but even so. Double 3. So the problem is red's executing a blitz attack, and 3 of his checkers are in white's home board. If you can get checkers into position, 6 and 4, that's probably right. And he could have played 6 down and 8-4 to give himself an additional builder. He's going to attack on the 3 point. So he's got 12 checkers in a useful position. If you can, that's not a great roll because he can't hit. Yeah. Now white needs a 3. Ricardo needs a 3 to give him comfort. That is not a 3. 4 fans, double 6. So he's going to hit twice. 1, 2. So in fact, white's going to have 3 checkers on the bar in a minute. Here we go. Right, now white in deep trouble. Needs a 3 desperately. The only good thing about this position is that red's 5s are duplicated. He's got to get back checkers going. Double 4 is a nightmare. That's an anti-joker. I'm sure white's not going to redouble this with 3 on the bar. Amazing how often. Oh, double 6. So anti-joker followed by joker, and now white's winning easily. He's not going to leave a shot, so he's going to play 19 to 13. There is absolutely no need to jeopardize the position and allow red to run with tempo when he rolls a 5. So you basically want red to crash. Red's got to run with all 5s anyway. So the re-cube will be coming any minute. 6-3, terrible roll again. Okay. Now he needs to think about this. I'm redoubling, but maybe he thinks it's too good. 2-1. Right. So it certainly will reach a point where that's 5 and something, 5-2. Now, are you redoubling and taking the points, or are you going to play on in the hope of a gammon? The chance of red getting 2 checkers through this minefield and bringing them home is not quite negligible. 3-2 is a very poor roll. There were other plays that could have come out. What's this one? Oh, what's that double? Now it's. So I think white should have cashed on the last roll. Now he's going to spread his checkers with the aim of making the bar point. So he can play 5 to there and then 13 to 10, leaving a 5-3. One. You're not going to break the point, so you've got to go. And again, time to think. Here comes QB, to quote Paul McGreal. So he's got a lot of hitting numbers. Ones, threes, sixes, sevens, but a hit doesn't necessarily run. 7, 8. Good cue, I think. Let's just have a quick look. And he's taken. So again, I apologise, he dropped. Yeah, it looks like a pretty big drop. It's a one roll proposition, basically. White will hit, and if red doesn't hit back, white will win. And even if he does hit back, he's got a poor board and a block and 3 points. So it's 5-4. And it looks as if the players are going to take a short break, which means the commentator is probably going to take a short break. Okay, so the players are coming back. Just as a reminder, this is a 15-point match between Tobias Hellwag playing the red checkers and Ricardo playing the white checkers. This is the undefeated final. Tobias leads 5-4. And here we go. Tobias is using a battle box. Ricardo is not. He's rolling. He's rolled about the fourth 6-5 that he's rolled early on so far in this match. Double 4-2 makes a point. Pretty easy. 4-1. So because the spare has gone off the 8-point, I think you play 24-23 here to freeze the builders on the 8-point. 6-4. So place for contact because Ricardo has already escaped a checker. Hit and down. And he should unstack, I think, the very heavy midpoint there. So now it's going to be a return hit. So it obviously got choices, but this is clear. Sixes are good for white, but not that 6. So it's thinking time again. So white has been caught in an exposed position. It's only a 5-4 game. He's got 3, 7, 9 checkers in the attack zone. So this looks like a double, an aggressive double, but probably a correct double. He's got to think about it. The cube seems to be off the board at the start of each game, which is a bit disconcerting. And here comes the cube. The question is, can he take? It's a double take, I think, basically. Positions where you only have 2 in the board points made, as I said earlier, tend on the whole to be takes. I think he's let that go, but I think that's a mistake. I believe that position is a take. Ricardo, from what I've seen so far, he seems to be a little bit nervous. He's playing very quickly, not really thinking decisions through. Tobias is being his normal, fairly controlled self. These things have an influence on the match. If you get a read on your opponent, you can steal some points. I think like Tobias did there. So 6-4. Another inner board point made. So to reinforce the statement earlier, red has the rack, the 4, 5, and 6 points. It's called a rack because it puts pressure on your opponent. 5-3 makes a 5-point in response, and positions are virtually identical. Not quite. White has a slight lead in development. Double 3 is going to make the bar. Yeah. Some rolls are easy to see and easy to play. The ones that cause you pause to think are the ones obviously you need to take time on. 2-5 is a fantastic roll. Hits. Okay, so now advantage white in this game. 3, and now 6 down, I think. Yeah. Okay. So to me, this is not yet a double. 5-2 cop dice. 3-1 is going to hit. Well, there are alternatives. You can play 11-8 and 24-23, consolidating your lead in the race, duplicating 5. So yeah, actually, this is it's got 4, 6, 8, 9. It's got 10 checkers in the zone. So this is a play that requires some thought. You want to come up? Looks like he's going to come up. He's going to make Yeah, quite like this play. It doesn't put pressure on. Double five, however, is a massively good roll for a round. I was still thinking about the 3-1 of the preceding roll. When in doubt, hit. That would have paid huge dividends. But now let's see what happens. 2-1. Not yet a double. A, because of the score, B, because of the position. 4-2. So you can hit loose and go for the blitz attack. You can play 24-22. You can play 24-18. He can play 22-18, 7-5. So, you know, hitting loose, this is the really big play. I'm not sure I wouldn't play 24-18 and 7-5. It's quite a difficult decision. Let's see what he's going to do. The white, obviously, white still has a checker on the bar, so red can take, Tobias can take certain liberties. So there are very different game plans here. You can play what he's done, and the time to take a risk is when your opponent's on the bar. So I actually think he's made a very good play here. Because if white fans again, the cube is going to be coming. 3-1, this is going to be fun. So now do you come in with the 1 and hit with the 3, keeping the anchor, or you come in with a 3 and hit with a 1. I quite like this play. I think you need an anchor. Yeah. And again, no double here, obviously. 3, what's the other number? 3-2. It was a good roll for Tobias. It's made the advanced anchor. Whoa, double 4, anti-joker. So now Tobias has got some structure. And here comes the cube. Nice cube. Who's taken? It looks like a take. Most prime against prime positions are take. We all know this. At least those of us who played this long enough to learn a few maxims. Red's position has improved. And now obviously he's just going to run this around. He's trying to make the 3-point to calm any fears on his own side of the board, and then he'll run the rear checkers away. Ricardo needs to come in, which he's failed to do. So any combination of 3, 4, 5, and 6 will now make this 3-point. 3 and something. Probably a 5. That's 3. 3-1. So occasionally the dice, the glare of the lights on the dice, and I can't read them if they're at the edge of the board. 1's fine, 4 isn't. He doesn't want to do this because now red escapes with a tempo when he rolls a 6, which is one of his only bad numbers on the other side of the board. He gets a free hit, basically. So when you get the 4th checker back, the gain losses increase. 4, 3, he's going to go. So again, it's prime versus prime. You escape from the prime. The last 4 by Ricardo was quite likely correct. 5-3 is easy. What's he looking at? He can only point, surely. So, 1, 4. So that was a good roll for Tobias. White desperately needs a 2. Double 2 would pay. You spend a lot of money going a double 2. So here I think you make the 8-point with the 1. So you've got the 5-point prime, and then you come down with the 3. Too big to slot the bar. What is he thinking about? Good question. It's hard to see another logical move. I mean, you can spread the checkers to the four winds, but so making a 9 point seems a bit odd because if white comes up with an ace like this, so the question is, does white come up? I think you have to come up and then you safety. You probably play 8-6 with the 2. Playing 9-7, sorry, 11-9 would be a little bit too loose. Obviously, this is the alternative play. But now you're reliant on a 6. I think you, so this looks very nice, but it may not live very long. So it's what I'm going to term a short half-life prime. So it's fair enough. It's a reasonable try. 2-6. Whoa, what a choice. So you can do this, but now 2s don't grow on trees. But equally well. Yeah. He's going to make the 3 point, I think. Is he not going to make the 3 point? Okay. I would have looked at making the 3 point. But anyway, let's see what white rolls. Big numbers are not good. 2-3 is a great number. And now red is in severe danger, particularly with white trailing in the match and owning a 2 cube. And here comes the cube. Right, so what have we got here? So white still have this is still a prime against prime position. White is on the bar, obviously. Sorry, red is on the bar. Can he squeeze and take out of this position? That thing's dropped, I think. Yeah, okay. But again, I think these positions often look worse than they are, and I suspect that that was a take because Ricardo still had 2 checkers trapped on Tobias's ace point, and they needed 2 2s and then 2 5s or 2 6s to escape. Meanwhile, Ricardo's board could have crashed. So there have been a couple of positions that I've commentated on over the last few days, which look a lot stronger than they are. But anyway, we will have to, in due course, ask the computer what it thinks about that play. Anyone in the chat has got XG running, please have a look at that one for us. Yeah, now, so we're tied up at 6 all. Here he's going to play 13-7 split at the back. So still a long way to go in this match. Don't forget, it's a 15-point match. It's going to make the 5 point. It's nice to get the odd no-brainer decision from time to time when you're playing. Backgammon is a very tiring game mentally. Yeah, it's going to go. Can't see anything better. What's that? 5-4. 5-4 is an ugly roll, so it's going to come down and hit, I would imagine. 13-8 is going to be the 5, I think, whatever he does. Then you've got a choice of 13-9 or 6-2. Oh, sorry, you can do this. I beg your pardon. Forgot about that 5. Yeah, it seems reasonable. Run with 1, put some pressure on the outer checkers. 2 and 1 is a good roll. Hit with the 2, think about the 1. Probably safety, probably correct. 3 and 2, so 3 is good, and 2 down. Yeah, no point playing 16 to 14. Much better to develop a checker off the midpoint. 3 and 2, probably just make the ace point here to give your forward some teeth. Everything else looks a bit weak. So there's an old adage in backgammon: once you started the ace point, you should make it. 6 and 1. Okay. I would have done a quick count before making the play, but it could well be right. 1, 4. That's a great number for Ricardo. Now red needs to remake the anchor, because I was questioning the 6-1 on the preceding roll. So 2s and 5s return hit. That's 3 with something. Okay, 3 and 4. No double in this position. Virtually no market losing rolls. Double 2. Right. So, ooh, it's not 1, 2, 4. Okay, makes a 5 point and develop some checkers. Obviously, you can't safety the checker on the 14 point. 2 is clear, and probably the 3 is as well. Yeah. So, finally, balanced position. Can white escape? You're going to have to try. So only 1, 2, 3, or 4 hits. 4 is fine, but where's the 6? Okay. Going for home again. He gets hit. You hope to anchor again. Double 5. This looks as if we're entering doubling country. Maybe 45 for red. The race is very close. So now you come out, you probably come out and make the bar. Not sure. Okay, this gives white some return attacking opportunities. So I would at least look at coming out with a 6. Yeah. I'm doubling. There are some gammons to be won. White has outfield strip checkers and a blotting board. No. 6, 2. Okay. Now can we double? We can after this because the 5 is horrible. They can play 11 to 6 or 6 to 1, but I don't think it matters. This is going to be double pass. Yeah. I don't think this is close. Yeah. Here's the double, here's the pass. Yeah. Okay. Here we go. The score has been written. Ricardo still in a natty hat. Okay. Tobias again has taken a small lead to now split at the back because the spare check has gone off the 8 point. I repeat things throughout the commentary because hopefully we've got players of all levels listening here. So what is obvious to some is not obvious to others. Oh, we wish he hasn't split now. So now we're going to make the 5 point. Two is a hit. So red seemed to be getting an edge. He's going to make the anchor, I think. You're behind, so you want an anchor. You can play bar 2265, but that gives white some blitzing opportunities. I think you've got to be sensible here. Apparently not. Let's see. 9 checkers in the attack zone. So this is slightly risky. Do you gain enough for creating the extra ability builder and not taking the anchor? So there's 2 choices here, 14 to 8, the safe play, and hitting twice, the aggressive play, taking advantage of the fact that red did not make an anchor. So went ahead in the race is Ricardo's theory on this one. But the double hit was enticing. It certainly would have worked. Now red's got the advanced anchor. So, and again, Tobias may have taken the risk with that ace on the preceding play just because he's getting a read on how Ricardo is playing. 3-1, very easy. So Tobias would like a 4, so doesn't really want that checker back on the turn to 2 point. It has no value. Here, I think he's just going to run away. Yeah, 6-2, it's fine. And Ricardo finds a 2 to give the game a little more excitement. No, he can't. Then he can't move the rear checker. And he's not going to leave any blocks, so he's just going to play 13-4. Excellent. Right. 6-4 is not ideal. Yeah, you can't safety the checker on the 14 point, so you might as well strengthen the board. So if you're going to leave a block, you want to leave the block in the most advantageous position for you. So I would question the alternative there is to just play 14-4, which slots the 4 point. So here he's got an additional point. Would have been hit in either variation. Yeah, duplicates 3s, doesn't give him a good 4. It seems eminently sensible. 2 and 6, it's horrible, but he's still in the game. It's too big to play 13-7, that's for sure. He's looking at. Okay. So that's the trailer. Have you got a cube here? You've got 7s, any combinations of even numbers, which could potentially lose your market. And red structure was horrible, so I suspect that was a missed cube given the score. And certainly if red fans, this game is over. Yeah. So I'm sure he's going to double. The question is, should he have doubled on the roll before? He certainly should double this, especially when he hit another checker. Now we're going to enter the realm of too good. Now can we double? That's an awkward roll. 6, and then I think you play 17-13 because now duplicates aces for one thing. Seems pretty obvious. One, e5. So does he think Ricardo's ever going to double this position? I think it's a good play, just in case he doesn't double. This still looks ugly to me. It's just that red structure is so ungainly. So I think this is a massive pass. I can't see Tobias taking this one. He's had 2 or 3 free rolls in this game. Whenever you get double, ask yourself how you're going to win this. Well, you're not going to win the race except in the most unlikely circumstances. That means you've got to get a shot. You've got a board that looks like Swiss cheese. You've got your army separated. You've got a blot under threat. So I can't see that this is going to take very long. The point about this is White's going to win a lot of gammons. So not much to add, but whilst we wait for him to drop it. Sometimes you sit there and you think about, and you talk yourself into taking the most ridiculous cubes. Because here Red could be saying to himself, no, he hasn't. He's not said anything to himself. He's dropped and it's 7-all. It's fine. And here we go. It's now 7-all. So basically, we're halfway through this match. We've been running for about an hour and 20 minutes, so it's going to be quite a long match unless we get a big cube. Quite a few matches over the last few days, there's been a 4 cube or an 8 cube. Wouldn't surprise me if we got one here. Six and two, standard opening, double ones, great response. Play slowly. There's no reason not to play 8 to 7. Yeah. Four and two. 4 and 2. To repeat something I said yesterday, Roberti's latest book, when you're entering from the bar, look how the other number plays before you necessarily play the entering number if there's some choice, because you can quickly work out what to do. Double 2. 2 of them. You come up and you come down. 13, 11. Yeah. Here you must do this. Yeah. You probably play 6 to 5. You could play 24 to 23. Now all your numbers, good numbers on the other side of the board, are duplicated. So the cost of a 6-4, I prefer this move. 2-1. Anchor. Anchor and safe. There's no reason to play 11 to 9. Yeah. So White has an advanced anchor, so theory says that Red would like an advanced anchor. He's now very pleased. I think he came up with the ace last time. Well, actually, 22-11 would have still been okay. 5 and 2. Here's a man in form, hitting. 5 and 6 down, forced. Has White got anything? Really stop and think about it. Some pointing numbers here. Oops, there goes the market again. So you can play 7-2. Or you can do this. 8 points nearly as good as the 7 point here, and this takes away the jokers. Panning, double, drop. So White's threatening to make the bar, threatening the blitz. He's got the better home board. This is not a difficult decision. 8-7. So we don't have an XG feed, so we don't really know if either player has had a huge amount of luck. Based on what I've seen, I think the answer to that is no. It's been a relatively even game in terms of jokers and anti-jokers. So 2-1. Standard stuff. 5-2. You split at the back here. Whoa, you don't play this move when you're leading. It duplicates threes and it's very pretty. I think it's wrong. 1. And again, I'd concentrate on offense here and just play 13 to 9. You've got the better board. I mean, none of these moves will be hugely wrong. Yet another 6-5 for Ricardo. It seems to be his stock roll. This is now, you can play 37 6-1, or you just play this because White's still got a blot. He's got safety it, so he can't escape the rear checker and safety the blot on the 4-point, which was what was wrong with the play in the first place. 4 and 5. Now slight edge to red because he's got 4 builders for the bar. 6-2. It's always nice when you make a comment in the commentary and the dice cooperate. It's going to be pretty standard there. Now again, have we got anything here? We've got a 4-point prime versus a 2-point board. It's a good position. Are there any market losing sequences? So good players cube earlier than not quite so good players on average. 5 and 4, you just run away. Interestingly, I just managed to put that last position into XG while they were maneuvering, and it was double take. Only a small double, but it's take. But these are the sort of doubles that separate people like Moshi and Sander from other very good players. Now it's too late. It's missed his market, and it's going to, unless he's going to hallucinate and take this. He's threatening to make the 9-point, the 4-point, the blitz. Hard to see how you squeeze a take out of this one. No, and he didn't, so it's now 8-all. So a couple of opportunities have passed the players by. To reiterate one of the things I've been saying over the course of the weekend, it's backgammon is a game where you need to be aggressive most of the time. Yes, there are times when you need to be passive and play safely, but in the main, aggressive play will be rewarded. Looks like we've both got plenty of time on the clock. Yet another 6-5. He must have had at least 5 of those during the course of the match. Now you can just make the 21 points probably and play against White's rear checker. The alternative is the very different 13-11 6-5, which he's going to play, which duplicates 4s. And I quite like this play at 8-all. It's my style to play this sort of move. It makes it much more awkward for... If you play 24-21, there's plenty of space behind the anchor for White to dump checkers when he rolls badly. Here, oops. I think it's quite a nice play to make the slotting play here. White's got no board. But equally well, this gives you long-term equity. The race is basically even, takes away all the White's jokers. So maybe in retrospect, this is the better play. This could be duplication for duplication's sake, one of the things that Paul McGreal hated all his life. But it looks nice, but allows White a few jokers, which the other play does not. So what's the game plan? Here you've got priming potential. White really only has, I guess, he's got running potential, hitting and blitzing potential. So what's the answer? Oops, we're going back. So after deep thought, he's made the 21 point. It gives white nothing basically and gives red a game plan of playing against white's rear checker. So the 5 is clear. He's going to come up with the 2 to try to escape because the race is very close. 5 and 4 is an ugly roll. He's going to play 4 and 5. This is sort of standard backgammon affair. As Roberti says in one of his other books, the last checker has to pay a premium to escape. So now are you hitting? So you can either play 24, yeah. It's nice to make the 5 point, but it's more difficult to play the other numbers. Here you probably just play 11 to 5. You're now behind in the race, so you want to build a board. Yeah. I like this play. Which one do you hit? You hit the slot on the 5 point fairly clearly, and then you run away. So we haven't had any complex back games or really complex prime against prime positions here yet. So you're going to come in and you're going to slot a point. Is it obvious which point you should slot? I come in on the 5, giving coverage of the outer board and play 6 to 4, getting my checkers into play. Yeah, I like this play. Four and 3, either hit twice or play 15 to 8. So he's taking advantage of red's blotting board to try and create some space to put his checkers into. It's a sort of mini blitz, not a real blitz because red has an anchor anyway. So the 5 is clear. And you make the point. Now I play 13, 11. You can't play backgammon in a vacuum, so 15 to 13 would be wrong. Yeah, like the play. Not much to discuss then. 2, 3. So this gives Tobias a 2-way game plan. You can play a back game, but he can also win by going forwards if white rolls poorly. Double 5 is cocked. Double 5 this time is not cocked. So 1, 2, 3, and 1 for luck. Yeah, seems right. So now Tobias is probably going to be forced into a 2-4 back game, which you won't mind because white's already made his ace point, so his timing's not quite so good. Except Tobias has rolled double 4, which is a bit quick. Going to make the 4 point, probably either play 13 to 9 or slot. I can make the 5 point, sorry, of course. Played my moves in the wrong order there. 4-3 makes the bar. White structure's a bit awkward. He's got 4 checkers on 6 and 8 point without working for a living. This is great, just runs away. You play 13 to 7, you can leave that one there as an annoyance, because then if white rolls some numbers with 4s in, he doesn't want to hit and give red good timing. But he may be forced to do that. So here I would play 21, 16, 13 to 7. Yeah, I like the play. Checker home, 13 to 6. Red's board's just a little bit too strong to go to something fancy like 13, 11, 8, 3. White's structure is not great, and bringing this home is going to be difficult. So you can do 8, 3, but then your 2 is awkward. And sometimes you just have to play what the dice give you. Yeah, it's not a thing of beauty, but it'll do for now. 1, 2, 3, and I still leave that checker out on the 16 point and play 8 to 5 here. You want some pressure against white's midpoint so that he can't clear it comfortably. Hopefully nobody wanted to play 23, 20 there. I don't like this 3. but it's okay. There's not a lot of difference in it. Ooh, really? Is that legal? Killing a checker against the back game that early is going to could well cost him dearly later on. Or you can still leave that checker out there, although it could be hit and then red could have some funny entry numbers. But I want to keep the pressure on White's midpoint. I didn't like his last 4-1. He's now playing with 12 checkers against 15. So that's why you leave the checker on red's midpoint. This is going to be 6, and then 3 is going to come down. Yeah. So 6s and 8s. 15 numbers, I think. Oh, nice number. Double 6. Now do that and you slot the bar because you've still got to escape the rear checkers. So you need to make the bar or the 2 points because you need to create the time to escape the other 2 checkers. I think this is the right play. And if white fans, you've got potentially an interesting cube decision to make because of white's structure. It's entirely possible. Hello, what's going on here? I think you've got to make the bolder play. Oops, 3-1 cocked. 2-4. That's not a good roll. And this is double pass. That 2-4 has killed white's chances in this game. You'd have to have some very pink coloured spectacles to take this one. You're going to lose quite a lot of gammons if you take this one. None of these dubious doubles have been taken, and that can be added to the mix. So it's now 9-8. So we are slowly creeping towards 15. There's been no gammons. There's been no 4 cubes. Tobias has had 4-1 as an opening roll a few times. 5-1 is going to be easy to play down and split. Yeah. 1-1. It's not. I think the right move here is 23-18, 9-8. Duplicate 6s, gets the rear checkers going. I don't want to play 13-8, 9-8 here. I don't want to play 6-1, 23-22. So you can do this. It's the other play, I guess. 7s and 8s hit. 3-2. So you can make the advanced anchor. Seems fair. Red's got to tidy up all of these blocks. So now you can make 2 points and tidy up all the blocks. Really? Okay, you can do this. Sure that I would want to give white the opportunity to get ahead in the race. It's entirely possible. advantage of getting ahead in the race. So hit one. Well, it looks as if he can make a point, but then that's two and this is four. So yeah. 4-1. Looks like you're making the 5 point. White's game plan is clear. He's going to run away if he can. There you go. He's leaving. Yeah. Leaves 11s and 4s. And plus double 6 as well. Double 5. Interesting roll. You can make 2 points. You can do this. You can do that. You do this and then you do the race. Obviously, you can count quicker than I can. Right, so now it's time to do the count. And also, red has got a strong board and a shot. The race is level within 2 or 3 pips. I think you can apply O'Hagan's law here. Basically says if the position is even, but you've got a single shot, then you should double. The basis behind, and particularly when there's a gammon threat. So any ace here puts red under significant gammon danger. That's a great cue. Well done, Tobias. So, and he's taken. So for once, right, and there's the ace. So now we're going to have some fun. 1, 2. Probably right. The 2 gives an added builder. So white's in big gammon danger. So it was a great cue. The best cue of the match, I think, for me so far. Right. So if close. 1, 2. Now what? 3 and 4. Seems fair. Yeah. So each roll that white stays out radically increases the gammon danger. 1, 6. So you can't, yeah, you probably come out. You probably have to come out. So 6s and 7s. That's a 7. So white could do with a double 2, really. Double 6, not good. So massively powerful position now for red. Even more so. 1, 2, 3, full prime. Okay, you should potentially look at making the 2 point there. This locks up the game, but the gammon is not locked up yet. So now he's going to hit with any 1s, 3, he may even hit with some 6s. So 1 and 2 down, yeah. 2 and 1. Now this is play A. So this creates the unlikely possibility of white creating a prime. Yeah, the other play is just to come in and start getting your checkers in as quickly as possible. But in that scenario, red's going to hit loose with any 4 anyway. So you might as well try this. Things could turn around. Now you just go, that's fine. But, so I'll go back to 2 rolls ago. Tobias, I think, played too quickly and should have looked at whether he needed to make the 2 point and possibly leave a 17-1 shot for white. So what's he going to do here? You just want to get the checkers home as quickly as possible. And this is ugly. I might have wasted. He doesn't want to leave too many blocks in board because then if red hits in board and white hits back. But I think it's worth doing this. Trying to keep red honest. I'd love to hit. Yeah. Now the gammon is disappearing over the horizon. So, 5, yeah. So unless manages red engineers to pick another checker, this will probably be a single game. Oh, ignore that remark for the moment. So it won't pick up another checker, but this gives him a good gammon opportunity. So, and this is a great bearing number, it gives him perfect structure. That is a great roll. Takes another checker off before he has to open the board. Rip it. The gammon is close. Yeah. Right. Okay, now white needs a 6, certainly within the next 2 rolls, or he's going to be very uncomfortable. Staying out. Big double would work. Okay. Okay. That's correct, because he's got an even number of checkers left. He'll come in on the 4 down with the 6. 4 on 5 on a 6-1, and red will think it's not his day. I think you hit here because the times that white, the extra checker off doesn't make as much difference as when white fans. So I learned this to my cost at the Brighton tournament many years ago. So let's see. Did he roll an ace? No. And he'd have been hit with my play. So on this occasion, whether I was right or wrong, I was definitely wrong. And Lars was definitely right. 10 profit. Oops. So red will need 1 big double to bring home the gammon here, or white will have to roll very badly. Still hasn't got it. You don't roll 4-1, 4-2, 6-3. Got to take a crossover here. The question is, do you play 7-4 or 9-6? If you don't play 7-4, then you could lose a gammon by rolling double 4. I think this is probably right. 3-1. So, as I said a few moments ago, 5-4. Everything gets off next time. You play to the 4 point. Doesn't really matter. That's wrong, but a wrong way, because now any ace loses the gammon. You'll find it in a minute. You just stuff 2 checkers onto the 4 point and every roll gets you off. No, it doesn't. Sorry, there's 2-1 to consider. I think whatever you do, 2-1 doesn't get a checker off. Yeah. So here you have what I often criticize some of my students for. They take an hour to work out a bear off, where the right play and the wrong play is about a 1% difference, and yet in complex positions, they play moves very quickly. So it's right to get it right, but you should be able to see that any roll other than 2-1 doesn't get a checker off. Double two will be all right. Double one is all right. Yeah. We'll see if red can roll double five or double six. Ooh, 6-5. Right. Now, 2-1 would be an absolute nightmare for Ricardo. That's okay. Yeah, so that's the end of that game. It is 11-8 to Tobias. Here we go. I think they're going straight on. Don't think they're taking a break. Tobias is taking a stretch, which is a good idea. In a long match, you should always get up and walk around a little bit. It's good for you. Oh, looks like we might be taking a break. Ooh. Right, Tobias is staying at the table. We'll just stay here for a moment or two to see what's going on. Tobias is now leaving the table. I'm going to put myself on silent, take a short break myself. I'll be back as soon as the players are back. Looks like the players are re-entering the arena, setting up the checkers. Looks a reminder that the score is 11-8 to Tobias Hellwag of Germany against the 8 points of Ricardo of Lebanon. Just waiting for my screen to go a little bit bigger than it is. Play is underway. 6-1. Okay. Sorry, 6-2. I have trouble reading the dice. So I'm just going to ping the guys to give me a bigger screen. Okay, so what have we got here? P2, easy to play. Slightly points got a slightly odd structure with 3 checkers on 22 point. I quite like, so White's got 10 checkers in the zone, red is leading. If he does this, he can then concentrate on offense, particularly the only other play is to come in and hide the checker on the, probably to play 10 to 8, which gives red. This is just slightly big, but I think it's probably okay. This gives him 7s, 3s, 5s. He's got the better board. I quite like this leading the match. The trouble with running with a 4 from the rear is looks like I'm going to play 8-4 and 20. You do this, where's the ace? So you can duplicate 3s, quite like this. Put some checkers where you want them. No real danger because you've got an anchor. 6-1's pretty obvious. Yeah, I like that last play by Ricardo. That last play, before 1 has enabled him to build a very strong position. Again, this is pretty obvious because red needs to escape from behind white's prime. Well, 6-3 runs a checker away, but we should probably play 3. Now you're going to hit. So white has the better board, can take advantage. He's got an anchor, so he can take advantage and be aggressive. 4. So white, with this sequence of plays, has enabled red to improve his anchor. Another 6-3. He's going to run away, threatening to make or trying to make the bar point more than 9 point. 6-4, not quite so good. Oh, sorry, yes, of course. I'm just operating on a slightly smaller screen than usual for the next few minutes until we correct this, so I'm occasionally not going to have trouble with the dice roll. 4-3, the 7 that doesn't hit. So you can do this. You could also swap to play 11-7, 8-5 because of the blot on red's 2 points. So I don't think he looked at that. Now this is going to be 2 down, I think. So red's keeping all checkers in play. If it's 2-1, you can play it to 42 and 13 to 12. That's one option. Because, again, red's got a blocked inboard. White needs to improve. We can also, wait a minute, it's double one. We apologise. Right. So this looks correct. 5-1 is a great roll for red, obviously making the 5 point. 6-5. 6-5. Yeah. Other option was to run, but who's going to break first here? 3, 2. Mutual holding game. Normally the first person to give up the anchor loses. Or, sorry, is at a disadvantage. 6 and 3. Not the time to go. Looks like 11 to 5, 4 to 1 if that is a 6-3. I've missed a double 6. Sorry, I was playing around with my computer screen. So, 6-3. Doesn't look like the time to go. So White's got one roll left before his board disintegrates. Red can play safely all of his numbers, pretty much. So this is the moment of maximum torque, maximum pressure, whatever you want to call it. White could lose his market in the next exchange of rolls, because if White's board crashes, he's going to have trouble making a game of it. White's got a tiny lead in the race. Sorry, Red's got a tiny lead in the race. And he's cubed. Excellent. Good cube. Big pass, I think, because White needs too many good things to happen for him to win the game. Yeah, that's fine. 12-8. Oh. So Tobias now has a pretty substantial lead. And because he has a substantial lead, he's run with a 6-4. I believe it's the correct tactic, but he's been hit with a double 2. So, on screen is about to get bigger, so it's quite better. Right, double 3. Right, everything is now clear to me. 4-3 will get better. Let's see everything. Hit, standard early game hitting. And because of the score, it's going to be double. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9 checkers in the zone. 5s are duplicated, so despite the score, I suspect that this is a mistake. But he needs to think about it because it's a key point in the match, obviously. White's checkers are not ideal, so I think this is a good take. 2, so it's a point. I think there's definitely a double on the take, so interesting. It's stretching. Oh, sorry, this one well. 3 checkers on the bar, so an ace would be good. He's got an ace. If red can get an anchor, 2-6 is not great. It's going to play 2 and cross the 6, I think. Yeah. What does he want to do next? He wants to make the 5 point. Oh, sorry, red's got 2 on the bar, so this is slightly better because it's a builder for more points and it's the checkers more nicely. 4. Okay. So red's got an anchor, is in the game forever, so I'd be happy with that. 6-2 makes 5 point. Plus the last move was fully justified. Now 1 and 4 is horrible. It's all right. So yeah, red now needs to get one of those checkers on white's ace point back into the game. 6-3 can make 10 point. You can bring 2 checkers down to potentially try to make the bar, which is really his objective. It would be nice to get one of the red checkers going, but here he has it, maybe look for the bar point. If you play 24-18, then you've got to play 9-8. It gives white total control of the outer board, so despite the fact that it makes them one, I think you've got to do this. I think this is a better play. You've got to strive for an advanced anchor despite the gambliness of doing so. So I like this play. Yes, it has risk, but it has reward. If it gets hit, you can hopefully anchor on the 1 or 2 point. You've got all the checkers in play, pointing right to the places. White's obviously a big favourite. But by making this move, red's taking some action, trying to turn the game around. I think making the bar just allows white total freedom. Yeah, so I think it's a really good play. Doesn't always hit. 5-3 is a complete dabble. So I'll probably just run the rear checker away. But we would have hoped to have hit that. I'm sorry, you can hit with the 5-3, therefore it's a hit. Gammons can't got it. Apologies for missing the play. Yeah. Okay, so key moment, great number. So now what? Can white hit back again? Yes, you can. Gonna hit. Got to keep hitting. You're 12 days down. Gammons can't double. Excellent play. Well done. Small and large required. That's a bad mistake. Gammon potential now. 5-4, huge gammon potential. Back in the game. Yeah, making 23 point is correct. You lose far fewer gammons from the 23 point than you do from the 8 point. So it's the 6th one that doesn't fit. So now what are you trying to do? You're still trying to make the bar point, if you can. So you can play 15-8, keep pressure on red's checkers. You can play 20-14, giving red quite a few shots. I think I'd want to escape one of those two red checkers here. If this is a 6, and it's also the 1. Whoa, double 5, wow. Yep, that was a simple game plan now. Two of them going to be forced, I think. Actually, not quite. Yeah, but at least one of them has to come off there. 2. Now, one of those checkers, you can bring both checkers down or one checker in. So I think I'd be wanting to attack the red checker that's on my ace point. So we'll probably be playing 15-3, right? Okay. But equally well, this is not bad because now if red hits with a 1 or a 2, so 2 and 4. Hitting looked a bit big. 7s and 8s hit. In small numbers, small doubles switch. That does nothing. We bring 2 in from outside. Right. Tobias definitely wants an ace. So I'm going to safety that block. So now he's only got one block exposed. His gammon risk is lower. There's some funny 6s for white here. Again, if Tobias can roll a 6, not that 6. White's still going to hit the 1s and 4s. Double 3. And the switch points there, I think. 1, 2. I think this is the right play. Not too much choice there, unless he felt like slotting the 4 point, which would be unnecessarily big. Mind you, this is 4, 5, 4, 6, 4, 2, 4, 3, so they're 8 numbers. The other way is 11 numbers and only 1 block. So actually it needs to be considered. And also if you slot the point, you win more gammons, doesn't it? 4 point more quickly. Let's say that. 1, 2, 6, 2, and 5 to 1. What's that to think now? Sometimes they 5 to 1 twice, making themselves perfectly safe. Here's 9. Well, you can play 6-2 preceding all that with the clears, but you'll win more gammons the longer you have holds his board. You pick and pass and increase your gammon potential and get yourself even on the high points. And given it's close, I think you should do that. 3 is probably not that important, but I'd still take a crossover with 13 to 10. But gap is appeared. Four, so it's not wasting any pets. 12, 12 numbers leave a shot. 4142, 5152, 6162. Third of the rolls. 5-3 is perfectly right. Now we're in a cannon saving race. 5 is 5. Don't waste a pit. I think it's wrong to waste a pit this early. We won't come back to haunt him. That's probably good enough to save again. 54, yeah. So now Mike's going to have to put in some pretty sensational rolling to win again. That's some pretty sensational rolling. So it still needs at least one more double, I suspect. Yeah. Another double, puts the pressure on. Let's see what Ricardo can produce. 5-4. This is correct because if white rolls a double, at least gives you a chance to get check off with any 6. That's a double. Right, even 6-1, 6-2 are not good enough, so that looks once again. So it's now 12 all, and we've got a 3-point match for this undefeated final. So, fairway, standard strategy for both players. You double slightly early and you drop slightly early as the losing player because getting Crawford is incredibly useful. It doesn't win you the match. It's not quite as good, obviously, as winning the match. But it's very powerful. How are we doing on the clock? It's like plenty of time left still. Double 1. This is a doubling advantage at this score, provided white doesn't do anything. Well, double 4. Good response. The primes are equal. That probably just about held off the cue. I think you do this and you do that. Yeah. Red's aiming at the 8-point. 6-3 is ugly because you can't move either of the rear checkers. You can't hit, so you have to do this. Double 2 makes a 9-point and then creeps up. Think about the last one a bit longer. 24-22 looked right to give it an escape hole. Here he was just purely trying to create builders to make the 8-point. 4-3 is useful. I'd have been pointed off, but there we go. So, who's winning the timing battle? So now you can slot the 8-point, or you can play it 2 down. Or you can come up, and you can come down. You can take in 14, 1, 13 to 9, and 13 on the other 7. I think I would be concentrating on making the 8-point, play 13 to 9, 13 to 10. Oh, sorry, I've forgotten that the cube was available. So now, this is where you take 2 or 3 minutes to think about the cube. So twos and threes are good. I think, yeah, it's prime against prime. I think red has a very slight edge. You can do this, or you can swap the 8 point. So red has the timing advantage. So this is probably, I don't like this play. That takes a builder away from the 8 point. So surely, yeah, 13 to 11. I mean, this is the better play. White desperately needs a 1 or a 2. Got to split with a 1, in which case 10 of 6 is the only 4. Yeah. Well, this looks like, what are we doing here? Probably, if you do this, then it's 6-2 and 6-5. So, you need the checkers to be working, so I like this plan. I think 13-6 is a bit stiff. He's given the cube away, so he can only win by playing his checkers well. White needs a 6, really needs a 6, not a 5-3. So that was a very poor roll for white, could neither advance nor escape. 6 and 1. So looks like looking 7 for this play. Yeah. Now that's only 5-4. Sorry, 6-4 is a hitting number. I'm not going to read on, obviously. 5-2 is a great number. It's an escape number. Yeah, absolutely. This is not even close. You've got to play this. So 1s and 4s hit. That's a 4. 1, 2, 3. And 1 for luck. Now, where does the 1 for? I think you have to do this. You need as many builders as possible. So white now has the timing advantage. Now, look, I wonder if that was or this position is a redouble because, right, well, ignore that. 2 and up. I still think that position merited looking at. Sixes, threes, twos, fives will play well for red here. So quite a few gammons both ways. That double 3, 1, 2. And I think you do 3, and I think you leave the checker on the 8 point because you need time to escape the other checkers. It duplicates aces, and aces are no good to red on the other side of the board. So I think you have to do this. Again, you cube, you can only win with the checkers. This is my play. The slotting, I think, is wrong, obviously. I prefer the other play, but who's to say? Again, XG analysis afterwards will answer the question. Red is now reliant on a 5 or 6 on the next roll, and his aces no longer play well. So I think we have the 5 is great, 4 is obviously force. He still needs another 2 though. 5-3. So now he'd have had 5s and 1s. 6-5, you're going to swap the ace point. This could get quite interesting in a couple of rolls' time if red doesn't roll a 2. That's a good hit for white. 4 is great, whatever the other number is, right? 3. Now fours, fives, and sixes all play well for red, and even twos as well. So a crucial role coming up now. 5 is 5 and 1 is 1. Yeah. Again, now red has got some timing. So if white doesn't roll an ace, red's white is in a lot of trouble. 5, 4 staying out. 3s and 4s are good. 2s are good. That's part A. Now he just needs to check how his big doubles play. This is all right. Double 5 plays. Double 4 plays. Double 6 plays. 2. What a number. Wow. Yeah. So now any 5 or 6. So 4-1. It's getting a bit squeaky over there. 4. I think we play 5 to 4 and then double 4 is okay. Double 3 is okay. We don't play nearly so well the other way. I think you have to play 5 to 4 here. We don't like this play. 5, 4, got away with it. So now double 6 works perfectly. 1, 2, 3, off. And 5 to 1. Okay, so now if red can roll 6 2's all right, it only leaves 4 bad numbers. It's not 3 bad numbers, sorry. White in a lot of trouble after going toe to toe with Tobias all the way through. Is in a great deal of trouble. Now, 6 and 2, okay. 6 bad numbers next time for red. So if he manages not to leave a shot here, which that's rolled really well, he's a huge favourite now to win gammon and match. 5, there's 1 checker in. Anything without a 1 will probably do for Tobias. 4 2 is okay. Now he probably wants white to come in here. But he doesn't. Ace he does. 4 and 1 checker in. So white is going to need at least 1 big double and possibly 2 to save the match here. 1, take the back checker out. Okay, I'm afraid it looks like curtains for Ricardo. He'll have to go into the fighters bracket. I think here you just run the rear checker and what you do with you try to make the 5s good, I think. Okay. This could be the end. This could be the last roll, depending on what he rolls. Should get 2 crossovers. Yeah. 2. 5, you cross, and then double 4 doesn't work, but double 5 does. I think we can only get double 5 and double 6 because he's got an empty 4 point. I don't think there's any play of that 5-2 that gets him the chance to get a checker off with double 4 next time. Okay, last chance saloon, double 5 or double 6 to extend the match. Ooh, for the 6. So good match, played in good spirit, lots of interesting decisions, perhaps some questionable decisions. I hope you've enjoyed listening to this for the last couple of hours. And now it's time for the commentator to take a break and a well-earned rest. And I will be back, I think, at 4 p.m. Gibraltar time. So bye-bye for now.